On the surface, everything's deceptively normal, but from what I've seen in the last 5 days or so since arriving in Japan, it's not in Japanese culture to panic, not to run around in a furious panic. Instead, there's a bubbling undercurrent of anxiety and fear, and it's a different kind of fear now. But just this morning, I've spoken to a young Japanese couple with just a 10-day-old newly born boy. And they were actually from Sendai, and they were in Sendai when the earthquake struck. They haven't been able to move until now because the mother was too weak. But now they're heading for Tokyo as fast as they can. And this is just another more evidence of people who don't trust the government, don't trust the advice that the radiation isn't spreading into a greater area outside Fukushima.
This queue of people is a kilometre long. They're trying to stockpile what food is left in Sendai. Most shelves are empty now. The people here are getting ready to hide, fearing an invisible killer, radiation. Explosions at the Fukushima Daiichi power plant put the country on the cusp of nuclear meltdown. One damaged a reactor's outer casing, and the final 2 reactors have now lost cooling capability too. Radiation levels peaked near the plant at 400 times the amount normally absorbed in a year. There are fears it'll spread across the country.
It's the same information and footage being broadcast on every channel. You have just to guess many things, look for them in other places. You can't get them in the Japanese sources. There's some very strict censorship which doesn't let us understand the true picture, and that's not helping.
While residents prepare to go to ground, foreign news crews are fleeing. This team from New Zealand is heading for Niigata Airport, but flights from there to Osaka and Tokyo are already fully booked for the next 2 days. The exodus has begun.
Here on the west coast, Niigata Airport has already closed for the night, and it won't open for another 8 hours, but people are already turning up to try and get on the next available flight out of the country, such is their desperation to escape.
We have to wait until morning to get the next flight to Khabarovsk. We have to wait outside, but we will because we want to escape the radiation.
Some, though, have nowhere to run to. This was once a village. Those who lived here are returning to find there's simply nothing left. The devastation just goes on and on. More than 500,000 people have been left homeless, their belongings swallowed up and spat out by the tsunami. Relief workers are searching for survivors all along Japan's ravaged coast, what's now a sea of debris. 15,000 have already been rescued, but over 7,000 are still missing, and some parts haven't even been reached yet. Over 2,500 relief centres are still packed and will be for several weeks. It's cold and uncomfortable, but this is one of the few places these people can get food and shelter. Huge parts of the country have been completely wiped out, but the threat of nuclear meltdown means there could still be more to come. Ivor Bennett, RT, Niigata, Japan.